Let it all go. Are there things in your life that you crave? Maybe it's food or being busy or social media. Do you find yourself using certain things to bring comfort to yourself? Now, don't get me wrong, it's not the thing that's the issue. It's the spot or place that that thing takes in our life. Does that make sense? You see, what if all the things we were putting in place to bring us comfort didn't actually fit and weren't actually fulfilling and didn't last and weren't purposeful? There's a book at the beginning of the Bible called Numbers. We're introduced to this guy named Moses who has been asked by God to lead the people of Israel, the Israelites, out of their captivity in Egypt into a promised land that God has for them. A land filled with all the great things, a great lifestyle, to where the Israelites could go and live their best lives. And so they go on this journey, and the Bible tells us it's a 40-year journey. So I don't know about you, but I've never done anything longer than live for 40 years, let alone go on a journey in the wilderness. So the Israelites are getting kind of cranky, and they're whining, and they're complaining to Moses and saying, hey, we're tired of this food, we're tired of this journey. And really, they're so stuck on the moment and the situation and what they're going through that they are not seeing this whole promised great land that God has talked to them about. And really, they don't even hold back to Moses. They boldly tell Moses, hey, go to God and tell him, we want this food. And the Bible tells us in Psalm 78 that they willfully put God to the test by demanding the food they craved. Reading that, you go, good for them. But then in a moment of pause and self-reflection, I go, I've tested God. I'm guilty of actually telling God, hey, if you do this, or God, if you get me this, then I'll be happy. Psalm 78 goes on to tell us, yet he being God, our loving creator, was merciful. He forgave their iniquities being all their wrongdoings, all their icky, nasty, whiny behavior, and did not destroy them. Boy, I'm grateful that he didn't destroy them, because that means, hey, there's hope and luck for me. Didn't destroy me. When, like the Israelites, though, they point out to us this behavior, and so it made me go, when are we going to be done asking God to do it our way? When are we going to be willing to say, okay, God, you've got the plan, you know what you're doing, we'll try it your way? I don't know about you, but that does not come easy or natural for me. And so I needed some encouragement in this area, which God provided, and he did through another book called Exodus 23. And if you have access to the study discussion guide that goes along with Do You Know I Love You? And if you don't, just message me and I'll get it out to you. It's easy to do. But in there, I think it's on page 10 and 11, I've printed out for you Exodus 23. And all you need to do is go through and insert your name. And it's this really cool activity, kind of time to put yourself into scripture and hear God talking to you and instructing you and what's coming and part of his purpose and plan for you. So I encourage you to do that. You see, God was very clear at this point of what had to go in my life. The things that I just had to say, no, it's gotta go. We cannot carry this on into the future life. If I have this and I hold on to my pride and my anger and my fear and my, crazy thought patterns and my need and addiction to having to control my life, I'm not going to go forward and live my best life. And so God was saying it all has to go. And I'm embarrassed to share some of that because I think, gosh, man, those are, nobody wants to say, hey, here's my list of issues. This is what I had to let go of. But I got to the point where what I wanted, what my future life could be, was so much more it gave me so much more energy and passion than holding on and living in that captivity. So I knew it had to go. And so today I ask you, are there things in your life, if you were to pause and go, yeah, this has to go. This isn't what I was created for. This characteristic, this personality trait, this isn't me, and it has to go. And I encourage you to journal about it. Like there were days and hours and weeks that I spent journaling about my pride, and it was ugly and it was horrible and it looked nasty and it felt even worse. But as I journaled about it and as I got it out, I was seeing it for what it was and how it really was holding me back and keeping me captive. And when you release that, whether it's in a journal form or even just spending time thinking about it, it does get it out of you. And yeah, it exposes it and it's not pretty, but it's so freeing. And so I encourage you to do that. And as I was doing that, I write this actually on page 38 in the book, because I kept thinking, God, really, is there purpose to letting this go? And I heard God say, daughter, will you trust me? Will you dare to believe me that I do everything in love for you? And so can you hear your Creator today saying, trust me, let it all go because I love you? Isaiah 19:22b, then they will turn to the Lord and he will respond to their pleas to heal them. There will be things that you don't know are coming, and you're not going to be in control. But friend, let me tell you, God does everything he does because he loves you. And letting it all go, yeah, it's raw. It's exposing. It's painful. It feels weak and vulnerable. But we have to let it all go. And we have to do it knowing we were created to be loved and to live like it.